because I got a lesson yesterday. Actually, Paul gave me a lesson yesterday in swimming. But for years I'd be swimming and my stroke was good, and three strokes and then taking a breath. And I'd get to one end of the pool and I'd be absolutely wrecked, and I'd be looking at these guys that smoke 40 a day and drink 60 pints, and they're flying past me doing 40 legs. I must have been doing something wrong, and I found out what it was yesterday. I was holding my breath when my head was in the water instead of blowing out. So when you take a breath in, then you blow it out for 3 strokes before you take the next one in. And that means, you're not getting tired. I did 30 legs yesterday when I found out that you blow out when you're under the water. Easy, but it works.
We used to have this fella who taught us how to swim in Marion College 100 years ago. I didn't go to school there, but we learned to swim there. And he used to say, with your head underwater, you cannot sink. And for months I thought he was saying, with your head underwater, you cannot sing. Who sings underwater?
Some of us can't sing with our head above water.
That's not the reason I said that.
But we do a good job of trying. So the swim's the hard part. So I'm not training for that at the moment. The training I'm doing at the moment is more to keep muscle tone, to get slim, to look good on stage, to have the confidence to be as old as I am and still be in a boy band. I'm 37 this year. So, we're nearly 18 years a boy band.
So long
and to get on stage now and do what we did, 18 years ago, it's not as easy as it was. So you have to get in and get match fit and feel confident. It's all about confidence.
No, so I know what he has now in the morning. He has just a protein shake and he goes to the gym for an hour. I don't know if he eats anything or not.
Oh no, well then after the gym then I'll go across to the Cafe Nova in Westbury. Let's get the plugs in, because they charge me a lot to get a free one tomorrow. But I have an egg white omelette. Egg white omelette. Well, you get a 1 yolk out and 6 eggs that have mostly whites, and maybe 1 yolk, and then just a bit of protein in it. That's great protein for your body, for rebuilding the muscle that you've torn through training,
Alright, so then at lunchtime
then I'll have a piece of steak and maybe a couple of tomatoes, and a bit of broccoli, we have my greens. For tea then I'll go home, I'll have a piece of fish and some more greens, some broccoli. And then in the evening, if I'm still hungry, I'll have another milkshake. I'll have one of these guys.
But would you never be sitting at home watching yourself on Coronation Street, and say to yourself, I'd love a big, fat Chinese takeaway?
Absolutely. And one day a week, you have your day where you can mess about and do all that type of thing. Have a couple of beers if you want it. Have your Chinese or your Indian takeaway, whatever. One day a week.
One luxury day, sort of.
One luxury day. You have to. We're all human. You have to do something that you can keep doing. It's not a quick fix. It's a long-term fix.
And are all the lads,
part of a routine in life.
Are all the lads in as good a shape as you are now? Are they all as disciplined as you are?
They're lucky. I'm the biggest lad in the band, and I've always been a big lad. So, like I said, when we watched that Children Need and I saw the size of me for Stephen Gately, I thought I have to lose some weight. So I did lose the weight, and I'm still a bit taller than the lads, but the weight down does kind of help me fit in a little bit better. Ronan is very disciplined with his diet. Very, very disciplined with his diet. He wouldn't train as hard as me. He does train, but he's naturally very, very tight, very ripped up. Shane Lynch looks at a dumbbell and he gets a six-pack. He's blessed. Mikey has to train. Mikey needs to do a bit of training, and I have to do a lot of training to kind of stay in shape.
Well, he must have lost tons of weight. He was in the gate. He panto.
He still is. He's still is. Yeah, he's still. I think he's still a few nights left. Yeah, so hopefully he'll be in top shape now for rehearsals starting on Monday.
Is it great to be back?
With the band, yeah. When we got back together for the first couple of years, it was just like a dream. It was like we had won the battle. It was just, and I don't mean financially, I mean emotionally. It was just the most amazing thing, having spent so much time together as kids, and after having all the most amazing experiences in life as we did, and we shared them together. Getting up together was absolutely just brilliant. And the fact that we could get back together, work our asses off to put on the best show we possibly can, and the fact that the tickets sold so people actually wanted to see us, because if we had done all that and nobody bought any tickets, how devastating would that have been? But it wasn't like that. People came along, we did a great show, we had a couple of fantastic years, and then obviously we were hit with the biggest kind of devastating blow to all of our lives and careers and everything that's ever happened, and that's the loss of Stephen. So this is the first time that we've gone into rehearsals without him. This is the first time that we've gone on tour without him. This is the first time that we've performed officially without him. So yeah, it was great when it all happened. It's all new to me now, and we have to try and pick up the pieces, try and find the right balance in the set list to make sure that we incorporate Stephen and we show him respect, but not to overplay it and not to.
And how do you do that?
And we don't know how to do that. We don't know. We have to. It's all
image pure and screen.
We're working on a few different ideas at the moment. We don't know, because like I said, we don't want to overplay it. We we want to just be tasteful and get the right balance and do the best we can to show how we feel, show him respect, entertain the audience, and you know, leave the night on a high, you know. So we have to try and find the balance, and right now we're not 100% sure on how to do that. So that's why we have 3.5 weeks now of rehearsals to try and get that right, you know.
Are you rehearsing here in Dublin or somewhere else?
We start here in Dublin, we do about a week and a half here in Dublin, and then we leave and we go, we're messers. Even though we are, you know, on the wrong side of 35 now. When you get us into a room to rehearse, to choreograph, to get the job done, you know, the people in the room work for us, the choreographer, their assistants, and trying to get the four of us to concentrate and work for the first few days is impossible, because we're catching up on everything that we've been doing for the year. And we're messers, we're both children. So it takes a few days to get into the whole work kind of process. And then they move us to London, because then when we're over there, we're waiting the distraction of home, having a home to the family and the kids or whatever. And then we work at 12, 14 hours a day, getting the job done. We have a huge studio over there. One side of it is a sound booth, huge sound booth with full live band. And on the other side is another huge sound booth with all the dancers and the choreographers. So we kind of spend half the day on one side, then go to the other side, and vice versa. And that will be in London for another couple of weeks, and then we go to Doncaster. And in Doncaster we have like a hangar, like a huge big kind of building that we can set up the full production and do a full production rehearsal with the bells and whistles and the trapdoors and the lights and the flying machines and whatever else.
It is a show, it's not just
it's a big show.
4 guys on stage singing.
No, exactly, yeah. We spend every second penny on the extras trying to make ourselves look good.
But you gotta do it, haven't you? I mean, you must have made some money out of it though since it started back again.
Not a penny. Not a penny. We do it all for the love of the business.
Yeah, of course. Was it was it 15 million each or something like that?
Do you reckon? God, I wouldn't mind. We did very, very well. As young guys starting off, as we did on that cringe-worthy Late Late Show with Gay Bourne.
Best thing you ever did.
Best thing we ever did. It's still cringe-worthy when you look at it.
Doesn't matter.
Every country we were successful in, you know, right through Asia, Belgium. Every chat show we go on, the first thing to do is they show that clip. So it's the most widely shown clip around the world that I've ever
If
seen.
you had never done it, you wouldn't be where you are today.
No, absolutely. 100%.
That's the other side of that.
And you look at the statistics now of the success, you know, 6 or 7 #1 singles, 5 #1 albums, you know, 25 million sales, you know.
Sold out tours everywhere you go.
Sold out tours everywhere.
Speaking of which, you are going to be in Dublin this year. So do you know the dates?
Yes, I do. We're in Dublin on the 15th of March in the O2. And now we're doing a couple of gigs outside of Dublin, Belfast, which we haven't done in over 15 years. We're going down to Killarney on the 16th, and we're playing a gig in Killarney, somewhere in Killarney.
You're playing at the Eagle Hotel. I can tell. So you're in the O2 Arena in Dublin on the 15th of March. So that holds about 10,000 people. That'll be sold out, no doubt about it. That's on the 15th of March in Dublin. Then the Glen Eagle Hotel in Killarney on the 16th of March.
Right.
The Royal Theatre Castle Bar on St. Patrick's Day, which is 17th of
This is
March.
also Stephen Gately's birthday, or would have been Stephen Gately's birthday. So, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But
And the Odyssey Arena in Belfast on March the 18th.
which is the very last night of the tour. This tour is very small. We're only doing one night in each venue for the simple reason we didn't know how we were going to cope or how it was going to go or how we were going to feel about it or whatever. So it's literally most of the major venues in the UK, which we are doing before we come back home, it's only one night. And a couple of the very small venues we're doing a couple of nights just for, you know, to try and keep everybody happy. But it's a short enough tour. But I'm actually really looking forward to doing the Irish States, because we haven't gigged in Ireland in 15 years. So Killarney and Mayo.
I'm just thinking the other venues, they're big, but they won't be big enough.
We won't be able to fit our full production in, but we'll do the very best we can to put on the best show we possibly can, you know.
I just want to say, recently I was looking at Coronation Street. I'm a good, strong fan. I follow the storylines, etc. I thought there was a scene that you did where, you know, you were going for a job in the bar and you came out and found Peter drinking with Nick, right? And you kind of went bananas and you grabbed him out and then you brought him home and you wouldn't tell Leanne and then you went and attacked Nick. I thought, gee, me mackerels, wow, this is fantastic. I really bought into it and I felt so sorry for you that you lost your job in the end. But I bought into the whole thing. I mean, your performances on Coronation Street have really gone down the storm of late.
They have. I got a lot of calls actually.
That was the best acting scene I've seen. Yeah.
Like, you know, I said, give me some work to do. I'll show you what I can do.
Yeah.
And eventually did it. I did. But even Tony Warren, who was the creator of Coronation Street, who's still very much involved. And he was, 50 years old this year. But Tony's in the 70s anyway. But he called me, and I know Tony. I've met him in the corridors of Granada, but he called me on my phone.